This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity with Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com. Lenovo. Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
We got your shot to win tickets to Summer of Loud 2025, Friday, July 11th at Somerset Amphitheater. See performances from Beartooth, I Prevail, Parkway Drive, and more. Head over to our contest page to see how you can win today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
What's the name of this one, Tenneby?
This one is called Keep On Steppin'.
Hey, yeah, it's kind of light and bouncy and airy. Sort of like a Save It for a Rainy Day or a...
It sounds like a sitcom theme song.
It does kind of have that sitcom scene. Starring Buster Q-Tip. Then they show you with a Q-tip popping out of your ear. Little Long Johns, and they show me just sitting around in my long underwear. What a hell of a show.
And the Fraud Father.
And the Fraud
There
Father.
you go.
Mark.
That sounds like a sitcom.
Rosen. I know you're as excited as I am tonight. The National Basketball Association draft.
I was just telling Tiana that he didn't know, and it's like, wait, they're televising the second round tomorrow night?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, how many players from the second round there are exceptions, we know that, but the fact that they should have just had it tonight. It goes fast because there's only like less than 10 minutes, I think, between picks.
You were in television for years and still already mean. It's TV. You milk everything as long as you possibly can.
I understand that.
They milked you for 50 years.
From the even the NBA hardcore fans. I mean, it's not like the NFL second round or even...
It is Wednesday. Of course, he's wet blanketing the whole National Basketball Association.
Not the whole
I wanted
thing.
to talk about the excitement of having the 17th and 31st pick. What are we going to do? And all you want to complain about is the coverage of the draft.
I think it's odd that they're milking it for 2 nights because most of the players that we pick tomorrow night will be in the G League. And that's fine. But the idea that hey, it's a 2-night event.
What do you think that second night did when they selected the Joker at number 40?
I've said there's always exceptions. And
that was must-see TV. Matter of fact,
no one knew who he was.
The 2 best days in sports are the second round of the National Basketball Association draft and then the first round of the National Basketball Association.
You won't watch 1 second of it tonight. There'll be anything on that'll be more attractive to you on MeTV than watching the NBA
I work at a sports
draft.
talk station, Mark. I need to stay up on these things.
You don't, though. You admitted it earlier.
You're the one that doesn't have to. Because
I don't.
You're just part-time in it now, basically.
Well, I won't. Oh, no, I'll watch it tonight. I'm anxious to see
it.
Well, I mean, it goes. The reason is that it goes fast.
Plunge my head into a boiling hot vat of asphalt.
I'm not going to watch every minute of it.
You'll be dialed in.
No, No.
Here's the thing. I'll know tomorrow morning when I wake up and scan the headlines.
The Wolves drafted or traded for, or
whatever they decided to do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What about, did you read the Athletic piece with all the quotes from...
I heard you talking about it. I did not.
Mark Lowry and
A-Rod?
Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
They said all the right things that you want to hear. Mm-hmm. We have no intentions of ever moving the team. We love it here.
Well, the NBA is going to expand, so that
just because they say that now, Bob Arum once said, yesterday I was lying, today I'm telling the truth.
I know.
If they were trying to get help in building a stadium and we refused to do it, they would dangle relocation in front of us. You know, I know it.
But I'm just saying the difference is the NBA owners who have to approve that are going to get a lot richer when they expand to these other cities.
I understand that, but they all have to rally together. When a city will not rally behind a team, they say, you know what?
Well, there's always, I'm not going to close the door on it.
But that's all I'm saying is that you can't say just because they said that doesn't that things can change in a hurry.
Right.
Bob Arum said so. But I do believe them that their intention is to keep them here, and they probably will. But I'm always a little bit leery of that.
We've all been
what else before. I liked what they said was we're not afraid to when basically they basically said what I've been saying the Twins should do forever. When the moon is in the 7th house, Jupiter aligns with Mars, age of Aquarius, when everything seems to be aligned, go for it. And they said in that quote, the quotes they had, that we'll move if we think we've got a chance, which I'm hoping they mean is right now, because this team, you would think, isn't better positioned than they have been in a number of years. 2 years ago, they got to the door. Last year, they knocked on it. We'd like them to kick it in. So now would not be the time to dial back. Now would be the time to go forward and add. And I think that's why there was interest in Durantula.
Well, and I think that's also why they said, we're leaving for the most part, we're leaving the basketball decisions to Tim Connolly, and Tim we trust. And that starts again tonight with whatever potential transactions they make and the draft. Obviously, they have a group of scouts that have looked at everyone that potentially would be available at 17. They could move up. They could move up. They could move back. It's all that same stuff every year we go through. But I think that they understand. I think the fans will be energized by new blood, whatever you think of A-Rod. And the fact that these guys are taking over and a little different level of excitement. I think people would love to see, this isn't the top priority, but I think they'd love to see Kevin Garnett come back and not necessarily be a part of the franchise, but just at least to have his jersey up on the rafters or something, just to have Kevin Garnett's presence back with the Timberwolves after all that acrimonious stuff they had between KG and Glenn Taylor. And KG swore he'd never come back here, although Glenn Taylor paid him a whole lot of money. So, that's a sidebar to the bigger issue of, remaining really ultra competitive in a very competitive Western Conference in particular. And we'll see what moves they have up their sleeve tonight and potentially, down the road, because it doesn't have to be tonight.
Dennis Rodman was selected by the Detroit Pistons, 3rd pick in the 2nd round.
Yeah, I'm going to say, there's always exceptions.
27th overall. That would be good drama for television on a second night.
Yeah, if you know that's, when you draft someone tomorrow night, though, you're not going to go, oh my God, I can't believe that guy was still available. In the NFL, it's different. You go, that guy dropped to the 2nd round. We thought he was a 1st round pick, or we know there's 3rd round picks. It's just that, because of the number of players they have on the roster, obviously, and the guaranteed contracts and et cetera, you just don't normally have. And if one of those players doesn't mean that if we haven't heard about them tomorrow night, doesn't mean they're not going to potentially make it in the NBA, down the road 3-4 years from now.
You familiar with Ginobili?
I've heard the name.
Selected as the 57th overall pick in the 1990 NBA draft.
And I think that's why the European players in particular, sometimes you take a flyer on them, and they're, the game is so good now. It's, obviously even more so international. You draft someone from France or Italy or Spain or what, where basketball is king. It doesn't matter if you've heard of the guy. They have international experience. Sometimes they're a little older, a little more experience, and it's worth taking a chance on those players. Yeah. What, you just Googling 2nd round picks that made it in the NBA?
Well, I'm just finding you basically said it's meaninless.
I didn't say that. I said it was. My point is they could have televised the second round tonight. It doesn't make it any less meaningless or meaningful. The idea that TV is shocking. They want to milk it for a second night. That's fine.
You heard of Marc Gasol? Drafted 48th overall
brother,
by the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2007 NBA draft.
He's all right.
Huh. Well, you could find some gems.
Oh, yeah, you can. You can. But it doesn't mean by watching him tonight, you'll know. If they draft some guy from Spain tomorrow night, who eventually makes it in the NBA and has a great career, it gets back to that night that he was drafted, you're going to go, I have no idea who this person is. And that's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't really care.
You sound like you're bitter about it.
Not at all.
Like you were going to boycott it. Are you going to watch the second round coverage or not?
No.
See, I think that's the best day in sports.
You're such a fraud.
No, I do. I think
you're a bigger fraud.
And then the best day in sports is the first day of the NBA draft.
The first day of the NBA draft, or the second?
The second day is number one. They only have 2 days at the NBA.
I thought you liked the third day of the NFL draft.
I've changed my mind on that.
Okay, I can't keep up with your.
See, Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
He was selected 35th overall in the National Basketball Association. That's second round.
So he played at Michigan State. That's pretty wild.
I mean, sounds like you could find a lot of gems. I mean, that just having those guys on the same team, that would be multiple world championships probably.
Well, very good teams. I don't know about world
very good teams, no question about that.
Yeah.
See,
I agree. I know there are, but
are you familiar with Gilbert Arenas?
I've heard the name.
31st overall pick of the 2001 NBA draft.
And now he's a preposterous podcaster.
Yeah.
That's all he does is utter preposterous statements.
He sure does.
It's going to be a big night tonight for this is the first day of the rest of the Minnesota Timberwolves' life. New ownership.
Right.
New draft picks or trades, whatever we decide to do. We just let Timmy cook.
The only thing with the NBA that I still don't like is that they draft Joe Bag of Donuts. He puts on a cap from the Orlando Magic.
Ridiculously dumb.
And then 10 minutes later, he's traded to another team.
Well, they don't know that the trade's going to happen.
Yes,
what
they
do you
are.
want
It's
him
already
to do?
been done. It's ridiculous.
They put on the wrong hat, and then they ask him questions as if he's going to that location.
Right.
You guys have
Remember Ray Allen was taken by the Timberwolves?
You guys have all
the other sports can figure it out.
Yeah,
you guys have all the answers, don't you?
Most of them.
Nothing makes either one of you happy. Can't you just be happy and not complain about things all the time?
It's silly.
I kind of like it.
I like to point things out. You kind of like it. You've never watched an NBA draft in your
Three
life.
Stooges starring Lil Q-Tip. Crank it up now. This sounds like one of those songs, too. Little Long Johns. And then it shows the back door of my Long Johns opening up and everybody laughing. And then the fraud father, Mark Rosen. It's a hell of a sitcom. Tanner B, you got a keyword for us?
I do. The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. All you have to do is enter the keyword credit at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. The keyword is credit. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out, but no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Fan.
What's the name of this one?
Barefoot Bellbottoms.
Long hair, peace signs, bell-bottoms and sandals.
Barefoot Bellbottoms.
Barefoot bell-bottoms. Don't step on a pop-top. Or you'll be just like Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett. What was it, Jimmy Buffett? I think I've got I'm not going to say I'm Bob Dylan-like. I'm going to be a Nobel laureate poet, but I got a little bit of... How about this? A barefoot, bell-bottoms, goo-goo-ka-choo, goo-goo-ka-choo. You know, sampling. That's what they do now, right? Sampling from the Beatles. Goo-goo-ka-choo. Familiar with the Beatles? Thank you. He's Mark Rosen. You did some insiding today, huh?
Last night.
Oh, last night they did some insight.
Yeah, I had an opportunity along with Durante Jones, who's now he's been the defensive back coach for the Vikings, defensive pass game coordinator. They have all sorts of titles. I mean, we had a little get together at our condo to speak to people who wanted to come by, and had a really good time. I know Durante, but I didn't really know his background and the extensive nature of
Jimmy Durante?
Jimmy Durante, yeah. I mean, it is a gypsy lifestyle. And you know, the Vikings have, like many teams now, one of 25 assistant coaches, something like that, with assistants to the assistant, where the Vikings used to have like 4.
Right.
I've talked about that. But, a fascinating journey he had from starting as a grad assistant and literally living in his car, making no money. Eventually got invited out to UCLA.
Sounds like me.
Then went to Hawaii, then from Hawaii to Wisconsin, from Wisconsin to Miami, to the Miami Dolphins and the Bengals, the Vikings with Zimmer during the COVID year, then went to LSU and then came back to the Vikings and has been here now for a couple of years. So he talked about a lot of that. But also,
in other words, the coaching career is much like radio, town to town, up and down the dial.
Correct.
I worked at a number of different radio stations. He's coached all over the country.
I don't know
if
you lived in your car, but you may probably came close. Yeah, I mean, it was, you're making next to nothing, and you got to be dedicated. And it's not, he's married now, happily married, got everything going for him, and he's 46 years old. But we got around to obviously talking about this year's team, and he broke down a lot of things that are going on. And the one guy that he's really high on, and obviously he's got to stay healthy, is your guy Jeff Okudah. Who came here?
Won't ya?
Yeah,
Jeff Okudah.
Yeah. He's had some injury issues, but he has been, all in, and obviously the Vikings are hopeful that he's going to continue because he was
the third overall pick.
Yeah,
out of the Ohio State University.
So if you're looking for sleeping, the kind of under the radar guys that could really make a huge impact if healthy, he's
a guy that's worth taking a flyer on. I think.
Right, very hungry to be there and to be involved. He's thrilled that he's on the Vikings. And we talked about a whole bunch of different things, and one of the things he talked about was last year's game in particular. He talked about his relationship with Harrison Smith. When the Vikings played in London last year against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets at that time, he said it was basically a chess match between Rodgers and Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith was given the, he was the green dot guy, and he has to play this game with Aaron. Aaron is, a very savvy guy, and he knows that Harrison Smith is. So Rodgers would get to the line of scrimmage and call an audible, and he'd call something and wave his arms like Peyton Manning with Omaha. And Harrison had time to try to counter that. And so that was what went on for the entire game, and Harrison won most of those battles. And that's why Rodgers speaks so highly of Harrison Smith. You don't realize how cerebral, and that's why they really want smart football players around them, that Harrison Smith is beyond his physical skills. He says, I don't know if he could beat anyone in a foot race right now, but man, he makes up for it with his smarts. And then we got around talking about getting ready for the season and forgetting the preseason games. They open up against the Bears, and I said, have you already started preparation? He says, yeah, we have, by looking at Ben Johnson tape. Oh, wait, you're not playing the Lions. Oh, wait. Oh, he's at Chicago. They're not looking at Caleb Williams. Of course they are, but they're studying Ben Johnson and what he did and the formations
We're always a step ahead of the rest of the National Football League.
That's all they got to do. But this is the world they live in when they're talking about getting ready for the opener. And I'm thinking, well, you're breaking down Caleb Williams' tape for 100. No, they're thinking
Caleb Williams would be a completely different quarterback, Mark.
He will with Ben Johnson.
That's exactly.
And that's why they're looking at Ben Johnson.
The Bears aren't breaking down J.J. McCarthy tape. They're breaking down KOC tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you. I played the game, both sides of the ball.
High level?
I know this is the strategy. This coach and I are on the same wavelength. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you were living in your car before you moved into Kowalski's. Is that true?
I fell asleep in my car at Kowalski's. Does that count? I've done that. I've nodded off.
Now, I've learned about love in the back of a Dodge, but that lesson hasn't really gone too far. But that's a whole nother
story. Where I used to go to drive-in movies over here.
Ace Bailey, your thoughts?
No one seems to want to take him.
I'd take him.
Well,
he's available at 17.
Well, I don't think he'll be available at 17, but he didn't want to work out for any teams. I mean, it's interesting that two of the supposedly top 3-4 picks are from Rutgers, and they didn't even make the NCAA tournament last year. So I don't know anything about Ace Bailey. Rutgers basketball wasn't exactly on the radar last year, but
he was a 5-star recruit. I do know.
I don't know how far he's going to drop. I got to believe. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know.
How about this? Ace and Ant.
Ace and Ant together.
It's almost like Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, something
Ace
like that.
And Ant. I think it's got great alliteration.
It does.
Arius and Anthony. I'd love to have him in a Timberwolves uniform.
Would you? Well, I'm sure he would. But
Timmy Connolly, how do you know? Maybe Timmy Connolly makes a move up the draft board.
He's not shy. I'd
like to see him make a move like that. I don't think they're going to move up to get Cooper Flagg. I mean,
no. Dallas got him locked
you would think they would. I don't know that for a fact. I would think they do, but you could probably move up and get Ace Bailey.
I don't know. I don't know what that would take. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, but it sounds as if more and more that they want to bring back. The one that is kind of interesting is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I think Nas is coming back. I think Randall's coming back. I can't imagine unless they make a big trade that Gobert won't be coming back. So where's the change going to be? Or are they just going to go with, say, we really feel Rob Dillingham's going to make a quantum leap this year, and we feel comfortable with him sharing time.
Well, they moved up to 8 to get him. They must.
I know. They love
Connolly
him.
must think he can play ball.
Yeah, he can. He's young. He got some room to grow.
Well, that's part of my problem I have, and look,
get impatient.
And Finch isn't the only one.
Yep.
All these coaches seem to they just kind of spoon feed these. And I know you got to win. You got to win now, and you don't want to trust games, especially in critical crunch time situations, to college kids that are in their first year. But it seems like so many of these coaches, they just don't play these guys enough. And then when they do get an opportunity, they certainly make mistakes. But we also see, like we saw with the Shannon character,
Terrence Shannon was a perfect example.
He had some great minutes out there. So
he had a lot of juice that he brought to the team off the bench, and I think that Chris Finch, in retrospect, I haven't heard him talk specifically about it, wishes he had played him a little bit earlier, because he was an older player, and he looked more than ready. Isn't well rounded. He's got to figure out a few other things, but yeah, I think Dillingham and Terrence Shannon are both those guys should be making big improvements. That's why I'm not crazy about having him make major moves, especially with Dillingham and Shannon around.
How do you fall asleep in your car at Kowalski's?
I didn't. I'm kidding.
Melatonin Mark.
I was listening to your Friday show. I nodded off. Sorry. I was ready to
Why would you say that about Lil B?
Oh, yeah.
That's not kind.
Melatonin Mark.
God, I used to take that stuff.
Here's what I'll tell you.
I hated it. You gave me crazy dreams.
I don't think Cooper Flagg would be a good fit here.
You okay?
I don't think he'd be a good fit here.
I always love that.
We already had one player like that from Duke. His name was Christian Leitner.
Yep. Winner. No, loser, winner. I was there for that moment.
Oh, my God.
Steve Ashburner and I witnessed it. We'll take a break, come back. One more segment to go with Mark Rosen here on The Fan.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled smart engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Can't stay awake.
Oh, I stay awake.
Doesn't sound like it. Sound like you fell asleep. I don't believe you were making it up.
I was making it up. We were talking about sleeping in your car with coaches, and I've fallen asleep, not when I'm driving, but I pulled over. And
have you?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I've done it a couple times where you just go, I can't keep my eyes open. Mm-hmm. We've all kind of been there. It's kind of scary.
I've done it in broad daylight coming back from Giants Ridge. All of a sudden, I'm driving out of Duluth, and I can't keep my eyes open. I go, this is 11 o'clock in the morning. What's wrong? And so I pull over at a convenience store, buy some Visine, go pull over to a Wayside Rest.
Were your eyes bothering you?
Well, I couldn't keep them. No, they just couldn't keep them open. They were bloodshot red.
Man.
I live a hard life, Mark. I rarely. I slept about 8 hours last night. That's the first time I've gotten more than 6 hours of sleep since the golf season started.
Well, that's your personal decision.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. You don't
have any sleep apnea problems?
No.
Okay. Well, that's thank God.
I live hard. I play hard.
Lucky.
That's what I do.
Lucky, because I've talked many, many times about it with people and how important it is and how dangerous.
They say 1 out of 3 people has a sleep issue.
Yeah, it's not good. And I fortunately have been able to ditch the CPAP machine and now wear a device that my dentist gave me that more like a retainer type of thing, upper and lower before I go to sleep, and I don't have to wear that clumsy mask anymore. But it pretty much saved my life. It can absolutely deteriorate your body in a lot of different ways, and I know people because if your partner if you're snoring continually, it's a problem. You probably got some sleep apnea, and you need to get it checked out. Just Uncle Mark giving you some advice.
That's a good piece of advice, a good public service announcement.
It is.
How about your Twins Club?
I didn't see. I was doing that little chat with Durante last night, so I got home in time to flip over and watch. It was 5-5 when I watched.
You saw, right?
Yeah, I saw the game was tied when I put it on, and then I saw how they gave up the run, and they had chances before that, and you just kind of expect it to happen now. That's a sad thing. It doesn't matter what the score is. If they happen to get a tie game and make it interesting, I saw the games over the weekend a little bit when they got walked off in the ninth inning a couple different times. And last night, it was just a matter of how they were going to lose. It just kind of feels that way now. They don't have a lot of confidence. And
your guy Duran goes in there, starts throwing slop up there and hits 2 people.
It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. There's no formula right now that's working. Paddock I didn't see it. Like I said, I saw the box score. It looked like he just kind of had
Well, his issue apparently was he decided to field a slow roller. He was called off by Brooks Lee.
Oh, is that right?
But he fielded the ball anyways, threw it away, extended the inning.
Boy. That's what I'm saying. They're just inventing new ways to lose right now. And I don't know how this is going to end or how they're going to get back on a consistent, no one expects them to go on another 13-game winning streak, but just winning a series would be nice. And I don't know. Again, there's literally no relief or starting pitching in sight to save this thing from continuing to bottom out right now. Because the guys have been relying on, even that are still there. Now, Joe Ryan's pitching tonight. I think they're going to get the game in. That's the one guy you got to hope that gives you 6-7 innings and, gives you a best chance to win. They certainly have the best chance to win when Joe Ryan's on the mound than anyone else right now. That's one game. But I don't know. There's, like I said yesterday, there's not one aspect of their game that's you go, well, that's good. They're good. They got good speed on the bases. They got a good defensive team. They hit for power. They're hitting for average. They're hitting in the clutch. Whatever it is, nothing is going right for them. So I don't know what to say. It's not good. But this started last August. Honestly, just did start. I mean, this has been, look at their record from last August to where we are today.
Just received this text message at the Bradshaw and Bryant text line. It says, I just fell asleep in the Lund's parking lot. I might have narcolepsy. That's what they're calling it now, narcolepsy.
What are you doing in the Lund's parking lot?
I don't know. Yeah, he should have been at Kawag. Well, you already live there. You can't.
I was there yesterday doing my major shopping.
What'd you get at Kawagi's yesterday?
Well,
my boy used to call it Kawagi's.
Kawagi's?
Yeah, when he was a little kid just learning to talk, he would say, are you going to Kawagi's?
Yeah. I picked up some chicken breasts and a few other things. Yeah. I got my.
Do you do all
some fruit?
What kind of fruit did you get?
I picked up grapes, picked up cantaloupe, picked up raspberries. I'm kind of again, Karen's gone. Right. Her dad had some major surgery today, so I wish him the best in Sioux Falls. So I'm kind of batching it for a few days, but we're big farmers market supporters over by the Guthrie on Saturday mornings. It's great. All the people come in and they have. I always like to support them anyway, but they have the best brats. I don't even know what farm they're. I mean, I don't know where they get them from, the manufacturer, but they are phenomenal.
So I didn't know farmers grew brats.
They're not growing them. I don't think, but you boil them and put a little beer in there, and then you put them on the grill, and they are phenomenal. So we get fresh fruit over there and vegetables and everything. I love it. Strawberries are still in season right now for a while. My wife passed this story along to me yesterday. She said she went to, she knows I like cherries. I'm eating cherries. I know you do every day almost.
And she said she went to the store and it wasn't working on the self-checkout thing. Mm-hmm. So a store employee came over to figure out what was going on. Right. And then after he looked, he said, you sure you want to buy these? They're $18. My wife said, put them back. $18 for a bag of cherries. I mean, we all know the prices of groceries are going through the roof. Yeah. It's like, I don't like cherries that much. And
is that just the recent?
I don't know.
You buy them all the time. She buy them all
I don't.
Do you feel like a bag of cherries?
All I know was $18.
Wow.
That's what she said.
The grapes were not bad, I don't think, yesterday. Yeah, it's sticker shock, that's for sure.
Matt from Little Falls, have you guys heard if they'll get the Twins game in tonight? Got a couple-hour drive. I don't know if they will.
I had heard that they will earlier today. The rain is supposed to subside. So, I mean, I know it's kind of sporadic right now, depending on where you are, obviously.
Is that just the Twins want to get people down there to eat some brats that they bought at the farmer's market and drink some beers and then tell them the game's over? That's what I'm very suspicious.
Yeah.
Very cynical.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't know. I had heard earlier today from one of the weather people that they were going to get the game in. But
well, here's what I've got for Minneapolis weather. There's a 100% chance of rain right now because it's raining. Then at 3 o'clock hour, it's 100. Then it drops 50, 50, 60 in the 6th, then 40, 30, 30,
there you go.
20, 20. So the chance of rain does decrease as the evening goes along, and they would rather play the game. They don't like postponing them and reschedule them and doing double dips, because sometimes if you get too many of those, you have several
double headers,
double dips that that can get.
The last thing the Twins want to do is have to use more of their pitching staff in a double header.
Correct.
I believe we got kind of a 2-day rain fest here, and then I think it's 90 and sunny on Saturday. So back in summertime.
Yeah. I might be going to a Saints game on Friday night.
That'll be fun.
I know where Lower Town is, and
you know where
St.
it is?
Paul is.
Can you get
Absolutely.
there?
I've been there
They have a
before.
farmer's market right there, too.
Yes.
Really good farmer's market.
I've been to the stadium I did public address announcing for I was asked by Eastridge High. Eastridge was playing in some kind of doubleheader with some other school of some sort. And then I was there for for that celebrity softball game where I had to face Joe Mauer.
Right.
I was pitching. And
you faced Mauer?
Yeah, Mauer was on the other club, and sure enough,
single?
Right between second base and first base. I'm not making it up. Asked Tenneby, he was there.
Every time.
Every time. He went 4 for 4. He didn't.
He didn't hit log fly balls?
All the other jocks were trying to jack it out because they actually had like a snow fence out there because they wanted people to hit home runs because it's softball.
I'm really surprised.
Joe never swung for the fences.
No.
It's in his DNA.
You're right.
I wanted to get him out so bad.
Yeah. 4 for 4, though.
Yep.
Did he taunt you? Yeah.
I made one. I played third for a while. Tenneby, you remember that sparkling play I made at third?
Yeah. You were dazzling in the infield.
Truth be told, I pulled a Buxton. I didn't really have to make it look that difficult.
You over-dramatized it.
I over-dramatized it because I wanted people to think how great I was.
Very Brooks Robinson-like.
Yeah, that's what people. That's what people do. The Lynx.
Yeah, I saw the end of that game last night too.
You did?
Over. Yeah, I watched. The Twins. I don't know. I can't remember which one was first. Maybe it was about the same time. But they had a bad turnover late in the game, missed a layup, and bad turnover kind of cost them. They lost by 4 points. But I think they were down by. The game was tied. They had a 2-point lead, and it was tied, and they were down by 2. And again, I'm not making excuses because they've won without her, but without Nafisa Collier. Certainly can have an impact on your team. I don't think Cheryl's overly concerned, but I'm sure she wasn't real happy with the result last night. I don't think it's a serious problem from what I've heard. It's just they're trying to be take extra precautions to make sure she's okay. And they got the big game July 1st here, the Commissioner's Cup Championship against Caitlin Clark in Indiana here at Target Center, and that'll probably pack the place. And I'm sure they want her to be ready for that, and some extra cash on the line, et cetera, et cetera. So. I don't think anyone's pushing the proverbial panic button because they've lost a couple of games, and they're in every game they play. And they're a very, very good team. That was on the road, and I wouldn't anticipate them having much of a losing streak.
I was looking at they have, believe it or not, I'm sure you do believe it, they have mock drafts for the NBA draft as well, much like the NFL. And I saw where the Athletic had one.
Wait, the NBA or the
NBA?
Okay,
and the Athletic had the Timberwolves taking Thomas Sorber, Sorber, a 6'10" big out of Georgetown. Said Sorber is a massive player and would tick some boxes for Tim Connolly and company. He's fluid and coordinated at 6'9", but moreover, he possesses a 7'6" wingspan that allows him to play well above his size. He's also sharp as a passer and processor in the way that the Wolves appreciate. He'd be a perfect developmental big for them over the next year. This is also seen as the start of Walter Clayton Jr.'s range. So, Thomas Sorber, I think, matter of fact, and Chris Hine did it for Fish Wrap Factory. He was talking about potential Wolves draft picks, and I'm almost certain he mentioned Sorber as well as a possibility for.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. When I've gone through 5-6 different mock drafts, and the names don't really mean a lot to people. I'm looking up one right now.
Here's what it says.
Here's Sorber.
Here's what he writes about him. He writes,
"Yep.
With some uncertainty in the front court around the contract statuses of Reed and Randall, the Wolves may want to look for reinforcements there as Rudy Gobert enters his age 33 season."
Mm-hmm.
Sorber is coming off foot surgery, so hasn't been working out, but injuries during the draft process haven't scared away Connolly previously, as he took Clark months after he tore his Achilles. ESPN has Sorber projected to go to the Wolves, so ESPN also projecting that.
19 years old.
They're all young. They're all 18,
about the same range. They're all pretty much one done.
Jalen Clark, your favorite player.
Right.
You had an eye on him, and he was a second-round pick. I don't know why you were paying attention to him. His second round
played at a high level at UCLA.
He did.
Then he got hurt. He was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I got another one. Looks like look at that guy from what's his name, Juan Berenguer. That's his name.
Who's Juan Berenguer?
He was one of the guys that picked for the Wolves to go young skilled center. I think he's from. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if he's French or Spanish. Anyway, there's guys that, my God. Yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of names.
Plenty of names.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go with Thomas Sorber.
You might be right.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to agree with The Athletic and ESPN and say that Thomas Sorber.
If they were going to make a move, I'd like to have seen them. Like I said, to get a veteran point guard. But I don't think they have to draft another one because to me, it makes more sense because when we
got Dillingham right here.
They have Dillingham, and Shannon can play. The different positions. He's versatile enough. But I agree that you can't. My guy Luka Garza was given a contract. I don't know what when they look at Luka and his ability to get more minutes. It doesn't seem like it's happening right now. I mean, he's been around for a while, and he's got skill. He's got certain things he does really well, but it doesn't seem to be like he's cracking the rotation anymore. Where you look at Dillingham, in particular, Terrence Shannon being able to do that. So Garza's kind of stuck a little bit. I don't know who's going to move the needle to get more playing time.
When's the Commissioner's Cup again?
July 1st.
Will you be there for that?
No, I'll be out of town for my wife's birthday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we will not be here.
If Rosie's connection at Target Center wants to hand those seats to me,
yeah,
I'd love to go.
I don't have a connection.
Oh, of course you don't. And there's still a picture out there. They don't go away on social with you sitting next to A-Rod.
That was one time.
Yeah, one time, right?
It was.
You've got connections. Did you do him a favor?
I have connections, but
can't you get a pair of tickets?
Your connection that Ingrid would like to see Caitlin Clark play.
Yeah.
And MVP.
We'll chat about that.
Come on, man.
I don't.
Start wielding your power. Start calling in some of those chips. You got plenty of people owe you, man.
They do.
They owe you.
I like the way you say that.
Yeah, they owe you.
It's about time someone said
That's what I'm saying.
I'd be happy to share with Tenna.
Tenna beat. Tell Ingrid she's going to see Caitlin.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's going to be a tough ticket. I mean,
Caitlin,
it's obviously
Ingrid even said to Tenna beat that when she sees the color yellow.
Yeah, she thinks of Caitlin Clark.
She thinks of Caitlin.
I always love that one.
Yeah, that's who she thinks about.
Well, it will be a happening. That's for sure. I'm sorry I'm missing the game, but we got plans.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big birthday for my wife. So
yeah,
big birthday.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of pressure. No, I'm just kidding.
Closed circuit to those out there. If the Wolves do move up and get either Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey or the Harper kid,
yeah,
I'm on call, and I will do a special show tonight.
Especially with Barrero gone.
From Target Center in the cage. I'll go down there. So
that's very big of you.
But only if they take one of those three players. If anybody else.
Parker Fox, maybe you could weigh in.
And I work alone. But no, Parker wants to come down. That's fine.
All right.
Tenna B, you're up for that too, right? Wait. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
Would you come down? You're close.
Max will be there.
I can get there. Max will get there.
And Rosen, you're close. You'd come over there a little special show, 100%.
Right? 100%. I'll be watching. I'll be glued to the set. Make my dinner and watching the NBA draft.
Look at the picture of Joker right there.
Look at that.
Young Joker. They're showing it on TV right now.
He's got that same goofy expression on his face.
Will you do a show tonight if they trade for De'Aaron Fox?
I'd like that.
Yeah, but I just do it from home. I'm not going to go down to the cage.
You're not going to go to the cage.
No, that's not big enough for the cage trip. But I would do that. It's going to be big tonight. What time does coverage start?
7:00. It's
so weird to have an NBA draft when we don't have like a top 5 pick.
Here's what I'll tell you.
I know. You're right about that.
You know,
thank God.
The legend of the genie's bottle, you
Right.
rub it, the genie comes up and you get 3 wishes. My first wish would be for 3 more wishes.
I've heard you say that.
My second wish would be that it was 7 o'clock right now. I'd give away the next 4 hours. That's how. Well, that's
how big it is.
That's how much I'm anticipating.
That's the same
the
time.
NBA draft.
Hogan's Heroes will be on.
Rockford Files double episode.
Oh, okay.
But I told you I've weaned myself out of the Rockford Files. I watched every episode.
Watched every episode.
I watched it every night, 2 episodes for a year and a half. I've seen every episode 13, 14 times. I can recite many of the scripts. So I just gave up on it for a while. I'll go back to it.
Good. That's nice of you.
But for now, I'm
well, tomorrow we'll dissect it all.
Yeah, we will. It'll be exciting too. I'm looking forward to it. Back to the basket, hand in the grass, wingspan.
Whoever they get, they're shocked that player fell to them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Logo threes.
Yeah. That'll be the line.
What I want him to do in golf now is, like, if a guy makes a long bomb for a birdie 3, they should call it a logo 3. Man, Justin Thomas just hit a logo 3. That's what I want to hear. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow at 2.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it.
Very good. Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We like being with you today. We look forward to tomorrow at 12 noon. Stick around. JG in for Big Ticket and Brent Blakemore. They're next on The Fan.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota! Good night, folks, and good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Let your imagination take flight with an AI-powered PC from Lenovo. Whether it's creating digital art, designing new software, or building a portfolio for a future career, our PCs are powered by Intel Core Ultra processors to help students unlock smarter learning and unleash their creativity. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. All you have to do is choose the one that fits your passion. Head to Lenovo.com to shop AI PCs and find your perfect companion. Plus, get 5% off when you create an education account.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Saks Off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is in full swing here at Saks Off 5th with so many exciting trends to try. From matching sets and floral dresses to wide leg jeans and chic accessories, find all of this season's must-have styles. Plus, shop new designer arrivals weekly. Find Gucci, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.